Yo, it's your girl, Jená Utley, holistic lifestyle maven, possibility trainer, and fitness coach. I am here today with another video. If you don't know, I'm currently a bald baddie. Yes, I am. I have been rocking a bald cut since January, so for about a month now. But before I became a bald baddie, I recorded this video for my ladies out there because I really wanted to give you some tips for finding a good barber, because I have had several ladies fall in my DMs before and ask me about this. So I have 7+ tips, suggestions that I want to share with you on what you can do to find a good barber. Now, I currently live in Memphis, but before I was in Memphis, I was in Detroit, and me and my husband are actually moving soon, so I will be in a entirely different state. So the first thing that I do when I'm trying to find a new good barber in an area is I use Instagram. Y'all, Instagram is the MVP. I do like hashtag Memphis barbers, hashtag Detroit barbers, hashtag Germantown barbers. I use hashtags to find people in my area so I know what's available. So number 2, once you have found some contenders, look at their work and look at it very, very carefully so you can make sure that they can do what you want them to do. So if you want to make sure that you are comfortable at the shop that you go to, look around and see if it's a shop where women have gotten their haircuts there before. Look to see, do they do really nice, clean haircuts? Look to see, do they do really nice, phenomenal, clean designs? Because the worst thing to do is assume that a barber can do something that you have not seen them do on their Instagram page. Case in point, I have had many a barber cut my hair. I've been rocking a fade since 2016. I've had some very dope experiences, but I've also had some very crummy experiences. And I would say 9 times out of 10, the worst experiences that I've had is I think that a barber can do something that I have not seen them do. So I've had people do terrible designs on my head because I would sit down. I wouldn't necessarily see them, have really good design work on their Instagram page, but I would sit in their chair and I would ask them, could they do designs? And I would show them a picture, and with chest out, so much confidence, yeah, I can do that, and then I get the mirror and I flip it and look at my face, look at my hair, and it looks terrible. So people will often overpromise and under-deliver. So just as a cautionary tale to you, make sure you see that they can do what they have actually said that they can do, so you won't wind up with a terrible design or a terrible line. Because I didn't have that as well. Tip number 3 is, before you book your appointment, listen clear now. Before you book your appointment, be clear on their prices. You do not want a surprise expensive haircut. I've actually ended up paying $45 for a haircut before because the barber did not put the cut and the design as one price. Tip number 4 is, when you sit in the chair, ladies, listen up now. When you sit in the chair, do not be afraid to tell them exactly what you want. I've heard of barbers being really lazy when they cut women's hair because they think we don't know or we don't care. So they do a really quick job to get paid and get you out of the chair. It is a red flag if you are sitting trying to talk to your barber and tell him what you want and they just nod their head like, I got you, and not letting you fully finish what you have to say. Really good barbers, in my experience, they're the ones that actually look at you, They're not moving around. They are actually looking at you as you tell them what you want. They're listening. They're nodding. They're asking you questions back to make sure that they clearly understand you. And they give you recommendations only when you ask. Because I have been in situations before where I've had barbers ask me a question and I'm like, I don't know what's best right now. And so I would defer back to them. I'm like, okay, in your professional opinion, what do you think I should do? In your professional opinion, do you think I should fade this part? Do you think this part should be balded? Do you think this part should be tapered? How do you think, my hair around my ear should look? And only when I ask them. I've had barbers who have no, you should do it like this. And I don't want to do it like that. I didn't ask for your opinion. I need to make sure that you hear me and you are giving me exactly what I want. Tip number 5, make sure you are getting your hair cut in the direction of your curls and your waves. If you've been watching DeAndre, aka Dre, cut my hair, you see that he takes the clippers from the crown of my head all the way to my forehead. And then for the hair in the back, he takes it from the crown of my head down to the nape of my neck. And for the sides of my head, he takes it from the top of my crown towards my ear. The clippers should be going in the direction of your curls or your waves. It should be going from the center of your head, aka the crown of your head, outward. Don't have no man or no woman cutting your hair and cutting it in the reverse. That is lazy. That is so lazy. Now, if you're trying to go bald, that's a whole different story. But if you're trying to, maintain some length of hair, don't let them do that, because that will jack up your curl pattern and that will jack up your wave. Moving on to number 6. The tip that I wanted to share with you here is just what I do when I get a haircut. Now, this haircut was a little untypical. I got my hair a little longer than I normally get it. But when I get my hair cut, I normally get a 1.5 in the crown. That is the length of the guards that they put on the clipper. I get a 1.5 in the crown, and I get a 1 all over. And then around the nape of my neck and around my ears, I typically get a low taper. Now, right here, I only got a low taper in the back, and he kind of just really lightly blended my side. But I actually went back the next day and got him to taper it a bit more, because I did want that faded look a bit better. But that's what I get. And I also make sure that I get the front of my head lined up. Now, I don't know a better way to describe this. I always just tell my barbers, I want my hair lined up like you line dudes up. Because me personally, I don't like when the line in the front of my head looks like a big circle. Is no dimension, it's no separation from the sides and I don't like the way they look. I like myself to be very crisp and precise. So tip number 7 that I want to offer is be willing to give barbers a chance. I know with me, I have a policy with my hair that I will give you at least 2 chances. And if you mess up both chances, I ain't coming back to you to jack me up a third time. I know sometimes barbers have off days. So as long as it's not like you severely jacked up my line or you severely jacked my, hair up, then I can't mess with you. So all it takes is a simple conversation. And some of the best barbers I've actually had to give them a second chance, and they kind of became locked into one of my go-to. It's okay to give a barber a second chance as long as he is doing, some of the tips that I previously mentioned. The plus that I want to add on this is you are in control of your haircut. As a woman who is going into a barber shop, sometimes it can be uncomfortable. You want to make sure that you make the experience what you wanted. If you sit in a chair and you look in a mirror and you see a barber is not respecting you in the sense of he's not really listening to what you want, or you can see in the mirror that the cut is kind of looking bad or something, it's okay to stop and be like, hey, so I just kind of looked in the mirror and the cut is kind of not going how I want it to go. So can you either correct this and, give them directives of what needs to be fixed, or you can be like, hey, so I'm looking in the mirror and I'm not liking the direction of this haircut like at all. So I'm going to choose to get up and just go because I don't want this to end up any worse than it already is. Either way is okay. Like, you are in control of your cut. This is my barber. His name is DeAndre Crawford. You can find him on Facebook at DeAndre Crawford. I recommend him if you are in the Metro Memphis area. He does such a good job, and he's a really fun barber to just talk to. So talk to you next time, guys. Bye.